So today's lesson is sine and cosine. Yesterday we did tangent. I'll get him in a minute. And the whole day it was opposite over adjacent, the whole day, right? Well, right now in your notes, I want you to write these two new ratios. We're going to throw two more in the mix. There's going to be three to keep track of. So, did everyone have a note here? I don't have any more. Did you grab it when you walked in? It's when you walked in. We're on the side that says sine and cosine. So the sine ratio is opposite over hypotenuse, and the cosine ratio is adjacent over hypotenuse.
Where is this? Where are you supposed to be?
They're in little boxes. You're on the wrong side. Sine and cosine. No. Did I those run out? I put a stack of them right here. It was a stack.
I don't see it anywhere.
And now it's gone, but I mean, I had enough for everybody. Okay, get out a piece of paper. Take some notes. I can't do anything about it right now. I don't know where.
Wait a minute.
Okay. So the good news is that these are on your formula chart. The good news is that these are on your formula chart. So if you don't have any notes, I guess here's a formula chart. Who also didn't pick up any notes? Who else? I know how many students are in this class. I made copies. Okay, someone.
Why would anyone take
I don't know.
No, that is so wrong.
Okay.
It's like that's so selfish for somebody else to say it. I wasn't done.
So there is a neat acronym that you can memorize if you want, although they're all on your formula chart. So it's kind of weird. Soh Cah Toa, like soaking a toe in a tub. I don't know, it's really weird. But anyways, if you remember Soh Cah Toa, you will know all of the ratios. Because watch this. What does S stand for? Sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. What does the C stand for? Cosine. Cosine is adjacent over HYP, hypotenuse. And then Toa, we already did that yesterday. That is tangent, and that is opposite over adjacent. So, no, you don't have to memorize these, but Soh Cah Toa is kind of nice in the real world when you don't have your formula chart with you. You can know all your trig functions just by memorizing that one acronym. Okay.
Right. Wait, no.
What?
I was gonna write it.
Well, it was up there for a while.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. SohCahToa.
I don't want this afterwards. Oh my gosh, you should know.
What do you
It's
want
all in your
then?
notes, Megan. It's all. Well, you didn't write them. I'm sorry you didn't write them. In the little boxes you're supposed to write.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so let's find the cosine and the sine ratios of angle A. So, we circle angle A. If you have notes out, I want you to circle angle A. Circle it. I don't know where they all went. And then we need to look at our ratio. So for sine, it says opposite over hypotenuse. We didn't use the hypotenuse yesterday, but today we are going to use it.
So we're not using the line test?
Well, it depends on which one. On this one, we're not using adjacent, and on this one, we're not using opposite. Okay. So what I want you to do is pretend you're standing at angle A. Which side is the hypotenuse? Because that's the easiest one to find. What's the hypotenuse? Which one? Name the number.
80.
So everyone put an H by 80. We're going to label the hypotenuse first every time. Put an H. Compared to angle A, which one is opposite? Very good. Put an O for opposite next to 48. And then obviously whichever one's left is adjacent. I'm going to put a lowercase a for adjacent.
Bless you.
Bless you. So the sine ratio tells us put opposite over hypotenuse. Put opposite over hypotenuse. We've already labeled them, so we really don't have a whole lot more work left. Opposite is 48, and hypotenuse is 80. And then go and ask your calculator what that reduces to. 48 divided by 80. Math, enter, enter. What'd you get? cosine of A. Cosine says adjacent over hypotenuse. Which one's adjacent? Which one's adjacent? 64. You can name the numbers. And the hypotenuse is still 80. It hasn't changed. 64 divided by 80. Math, enter, enter. 4/5. Very good. So notice on these, when we're solving ones like this, we are not touching the sine button. We're not touching the cosine button. We're just writing the answers as fractions, okay? That's this section. Okay. Try this one on your own. I'll give you a minute.
Where's the radicals?
But the radicals aren't scary. You don't have to do anything with the radicals. You just leave them there and you don't even touch them. Hey, well, they have to radicalize the denominator.
Okay.
You feel lucky.
No.
You don't have to do that.
Oh, my pen broke again.
Alea, which side is the hypotenuse? Which side? 10. So I'm going to put an H next to the 10. Actually, compared to the T, which side is opposite? Very good. So I'm going to put an O for opposite next to the 2. And then, of course, my A goes next to the square root 5 because that was the only one left. So now I've labeled everything. Now all I have to do is look at my proportions. Sine is, Dimitri, what's sine? What over what? You didn't write it down. Why didn't you write it down? Opposite over hypotenuse. So Kendall, what'd you get as your fraction? What's the sine of t?
Actually, it's 210, but it's 110.
Opposite is 2. Hypotenuse is 10. Torin's right. You can't leave it 2/10. You have to simplify it and put 1/5. Lewis M., what'd you get for the cosine of t? What? Why? Okay, look at your formula chart. What's the ratio? Well, then get something else to write with. Be productive. Come on. Here's where they are right here. What does the cosine say? What's the ratio for cosine? Cosine. What's the ratio for cosine?
Opposite leg.
Cosine. C. It starts with a C. Cosine. Adjacent over hypotenuse. Square root 5 over 10. This one cannot be reduced. Don't try to say that that's 1/2. It's not. It's just square root 5 over 10. So that's the end of that one.
Wait, did you wrong?
Press record again.
Are you ranting?
I'm done ranting. That was my rant. Okay, and I didn't record it. So, the problem about this one is yesterday, everything was tangent. Yesterday, everything was tangent. So, yesterday was easy because you didn't have to choose which trig function that you wanted to use that day. But today, we've got sine, we've got cosine, and we've got tangent. And they're not going to give you a triangle and say, oh, here you go, use this one. They're not going to hand it to you on a silver platter. So you've got to decide which trig function you're going to use. I write this acronym at the top of my page, but you can use your formula chart if you want to. But I like the acronym because I think it works really well. Yes?
How do you know when to use what?
I'm about to tell you. That's what I'm going for. So, first thing you always do is circle your angle. So everyone circle 55 degrees. Circle it. Okay, Megan, compared to 55, what is 14? Is it opposite or adjacent?
Adjacent.
So if you draw an arrow from your angle, you're pointing to opposite. We don't have an opposite. It's empty. So 14 is adjacent. Julius, what type of, what side is X? What would you call it? Opposite, hypotenuse, or adjacent? Hypotenuse. Very good. So we've got an A and we've got an H. If you look at Soh Cah Toa, which one has an A and an H?
The cup.
The Ka. So what are we going to use? What are we going to use? cosine. We're going to use cosine because that's what Ka starts with. So everyone write C-O-S. You don't pronounce it cos, it's cosine. Don't say cos. No, you can't write Ka because it's cosine. It's cosine. So, what do we always put in parentheses? Torin, you know this. What do we always put in parentheses? The angle. So we're going to put 55. Everyone put 55. Can you participate? Are you one of the ones who don't have notes and that's why you're just not doing anything? Go get a whiteboard. Like, get out of your seat and say, oh, I don't have anything to write with. Maybe I should use a whiteboard since she didn't give me notes today. Be proactive. Apathy is the worst enemy. Can't talk. Do y'all know what apathy is?
Yeah. I forgot.
Being lazy.
Apathy is when you just don't even care.
No.
It's not that you're not doing anything. You just don't even care that you're not doing anything. You don't care that you're not learning this lesson. You just don't care. That is my biggest enemy as a teacher is apathy. It's not people who are not smart. Those are not my biggest enemies. It's apathy, people who don't care. And I know I'm recording, and right now I have a lot of people in this class that just don't care. And I'm getting really frustrated. All right, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. That's what your formula says. It says adjacent over hypotenuse. So I'm going to put 14 over x. Here's the part where you decide where is x. It's like, where's Waldo? Is x in the numerator or the denominator?
Okay, I'm trying to.
Numerator or denominator?
Denominator.
Denominator divide. Denominator divide. So go to your calculator and do 14. You don't have to write this down. Just go straight to your calculator. 14 divided by cosine 55. Do it. 14 divided by cosine 55.
No, we were on to the nearest 10.
Says round to nearest 10, so that's 1 decimal point. Brett, what'd you get?
24.4.
24.4? Sound good, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 24.4.
I would always look and see if it's reasonable with my picture. 24, so this side is 10 more than that side. I'm okay with that. It's not a crazy answer. It's not negative. It's not like a million. So we're good. Let's move on. There's a little spot in your notes if you did get fortunate enough to get a notes page, if you walked in early enough to get one. There's a spot that says game plan. Game plan. So, in your game plan, the first thing you do every single time is decide which one will you use. Which one will you use? You're going to either use sine, cosine, or tangent. So in your game plan, just put which one? Sine, cosine, tangent. Step 2, write your template. Like your template would be like sine of something equals something over something. That's your template. That's like writing the equation with nothing in it. It's like a skeleton. After you write your template, you fill in the numbers. What always goes right here? Right there, what always goes right there? Torin?
Oh,
Your angle. Your angle is the only thing allowed in the parentheses. It's like they have a special password to get in and no one else does. And then you need to decide, where is x? Where's x? What are you looking for? This is like saying, where is x?
I'm so.
Then don't write it down. Just skip this part if you're really lost. Where's x? It's either in the angle, it's either the numerator, or it's the denominator. And then you need to see what to round to at the very end. What do I round to? So when you're given a problem, those are the steps you're going to take every time. Now, as you get faster at this, are you going to be able to go through these steps really quickly? Yeah. But while you're still learning, those training wheels are still on, so you still have to go through each step until you're really good at it. Okay. Step 1. I can go back later. Step 1. Find out which one you're going to use, sine, cosine, or tangent. So I want everyone to figure out on this problem which one you're going to use and write down. Are you going to choose sine, cosine, and tangent? Can you form those right, Ashley?
No, I know.
Okay. Nasia, what is 9? Is it an opposite, an adjacent, or a hypotenuse? Across from the box is always the hypotenuse. So guys, what I want you to do every time is label your hypotenuse first. Sometimes you won't have a hypotenuse, but if there's a hypotenuse, label it first. Your hypotenuse is always the one across from the box. Circle the angle, yep.
And that's the opposite.
Yeah, good. Opposite. So we've got an O and an H. Yep. So you either use Soh Cah Toa to help you, or if you don't like that acronym, you use your formula chart to help you. And either way, you know that opposite and hypotenuse go with sine. Very good. So everyone writes sine. It looks like it's spelled sin, but it's not sin, it's sine. All right, so let's write our empty template, because that's what the game plan said to do. Write an empty template with nothing filled in so you don't get confused. Melanie, what goes in parentheses? What should I put right there? Yeah, 27. Ava's not here. Louis C., what should I put in my proportion? Opposite over hypotenuse. What's the opposite in the hypotenuse? Yep, I'm going to call it y because that's what the problem calls it. But y and 9. If you want to call it x, that's fine. Torrin, where's the variable?
The numerator.
Numerator. So what should we do? Multiply. Very good. 9 times sine 27. Matt, when you have an answer, let me know what you got. 4.1. That's to the nearest tenth? Okay. Ask me a question. Can we do the next one? Sure. I love that question. Okay, decide what it is. Your sine, cosine, or tangent. Here's the angle. 14 is the hypotenuse, and 5 is the opposite. Good. If you've got an O and an H, if you've got an opposite and a hypotenuse, you are sine, automatically sine. So, next step in the game plan is write the empty template. Jeanette, what's our angle? Z. Very good. So in parentheses, the only thing allowed there is the angle. The angle is Z. Omar, what's our proportion? What's our fraction?
5 over 14.
Yep, opposite over hypotenuse. 5 over 14. Austin, where's x? Where is it? Where's the variable? What are we solving for? What is that? It's not in the numerator, it's not in the denominator, it's in the angle. Yes, very good. Thank you for helping Austin out. It's in the angle. So we learned when something is trapped in the trig function, we have to undo sine. Like yesterday, we undid tangent. We have to undo it. How do you undo it? Press second. Press second. So you go to your calculator. 5 over 14. Go to your calculator. You press second sine, not sine, but second sine. I don't know why mine didn't do it. There you go. And then you put your fraction in. Opposite over hypotenuse. There we go. Dun dun dun. And angles, we normally round those to the nearest whole number. We usually don't round them to the nearest tenth. So the nearest whole number would be 21. Very good. So when you're trying to find an angle, you always press second. 21 degree angle. 21 degrees. Next one. Is this one not on your story? Is that what you're saying?
No, like I thought it was in the back, but there's one at the very bottom.
Yeah. John, which trig function are you going to choose?
Opposite and adjacent.
Yeah, which one's that?
Tangent.
Yay, very good. Tangent is the winner. Ding, 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 tangent. I'm going to write my empty template with nothing in it. How did John pick tangent? He saw that there was opposite and there was adjacent, and then he either used his memory or his formula chart, and he chose tangent. Oh, because you don't have your, it's opposite over. Kenneth, what goes right here in the parentheses? Very good. Shelby is not here. Paige, what is our fraction? Very good. Opposite over adjacent. Very good. What are we pressing our calculator? Second. Second tan. 9 divided by 17. Catherine, what do you get? What? 27.9, which is 20. Whole number. Yeah, 28. When it says to the nearest degree, that's a whole number. 28 degrees. Oh my goodness, look at that picture. That is not on there, so we're not going to do it because y'all already look plenty confused as it is. Okay, so we can do our practice now.